everyone. Thank you, and welcome back to another episode of Preachers Exes Podcast. Yes, that's right. I said it. Preachers Exes Podcast, where we get all the tea. Okay, so we have my girl Deniece Edwards on here. So, Deniece, I forgot already. So, tell me the name of your show.
Okay, the name of my show is called The Not So Christian and Me Show, and it's a faith based broadcast radio show where we talk about the times we fall short of God's glory, and we share testimonies about the time that we fell short of God's glory, and just lift each other up with those transparent stories and testimonies. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. And Southern Belle or Southern Girl Denise?
Southern Girl Deniece. I'm from down south, so I have a little southern
Okay. So you
flag.
so are you from Texas?
Yes, I'm from Houston, born and raised. Yes.
Okay. I'm from Philly, born and
Okay.
raised, and
Okay.
here in Houston. And I
Okay.
want to say thank you. I'm a Philly girl, yes. You So I wanted to say, first of all, thank you for gracing me with your presence. And I also have to say that you're very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You too. You too,
So,
girl.
uh, thank you. So I have to ask this for you to be so beautiful, right? So well spoken. I'm assuming so educated. How are you divorced?
Wow, easy. Easy, very easy. I know when it's my time to let go. Put it like that. I know when it's time
Okay.
to like those red flags really become real red in your face over and over again, like hitting you in
Yes.
the head, like hello. Don't you see this red stop
Right.
sign?
Hitting you like.
Yeah. Yeah, so
And and I know you were married to a preacher, and that's why you're here.
mhm.
So, what were some of the red flags that you possibly saw, ignored, and then eventually said, "Holy shit! Like, I need to get out."
I think some of the red flags is the repeated behavior. Those is red flags.
Okay.
Like saying that I'm not going to do something again, and then the person kept doing it over and over again. And so I think that was a red flag. Like, okay, this ain't right, you know. And then it just
Okay.
triggered me to think about past relationships. It triggered me to unlock those memories from previous relationships to know like, okay, this is going in the same direction. I don't want to repeat that
Okay.
habit again. So let me go ahead and fall
Okay.
back and remove myself from the situation.
So I have to ask you this because you said repeated behaviors, baby. We want to know what was the repeated behaviors.
The, the
No,
verbal,
you coming on here to tell the tea.
and she want to hear it all. Um,
Yeah, I
the,
do.
the verbal abuse, for one, the
Okay.
constant verbal abuse over and over again, and then it led to more physical abuse happening over and over
Okay.
again. So that was the repeated behavior to the point that I had to remove myself from the situation, along with my two children.
Okay. You know,
And then the
we're
adultery
seeing.
was in there too, so I had to deal with the adultery that was going on, trying to still keep the family together. About still dealing with all of that was that was interfering in our marriage. So just a lot. So I understand what Mary going through with Mr. What's her name, the one that's going through the divorce. I
I
understand.
know who you talking about, but you know what? In many cases, I feel like we should have left a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Very much.
So I want to ask you why you stayed for however long.
I think I was in the stage of trying to help the person to become a better person, and I think a lot of women get stuck in relationship, or and men, they get stuck in these situations. They feel like that, that they're there. We become a crutch. We feel like
Okay.
we're there to help the person grow spiritually, mentally, physically, and so that's how I end up getting stuck because I got to the point that I felt sorry for the person. And then I kept thinking,
Okay.
well, as a woman of God and he's a man of God, let's work this out. So that was always like in the forefront, but those repeated behaviors kept occurring over and over again. And I'm like, God, this ain't what you want me to do. This is not where I need to
Right.
be at right now. Yeah, and your word, you said, look, start going to
Yes.
scriptures and stuff like, this is not the man of God that you called me to be with. Yeah.
Do you think that religion has caused a lot of harm and hurt for the Black woman, especially?
Yeah, I think so too, because as a black woman who grew up in a religious household, we stand firm on our faith and stand firm on God's word, and, we want to live a righteous life. But at the same time, so a lot of times we don't know how to deal with those issues when they come along, when it's not godly, how to face these
Right,
that
right.
come in our way when it's not godly. So I think
Okay.
just growing up in just growing up in the word or whatever, it made it hard for me to break free from those relationships.
Okay.
Hmm.
So in that, do you feel like, so when I say in that, I'm speaking about in your marriage,
Hmm.
right? Do you think that God failed you, your husband failed you, you failed yourself?
I felt myself, and my husband felt me too, as well as my family. He felt the whole family for sure. But I know
Okay,
I felt
okay.
on me. I take responsibility too. I take accountability that I put myself in that situation. I became vulnerable to the point that it was hurtful in the long run. Yeah,
Did you see any red flags in the beginning?
yeah, yeah. But I
Okay.
I think as black women, and we always feel like we have to help that black man. They already have a lot of targets on their back. They already, get the short end of the stick. They already have a hard
Hmm.
time in life. And I think with black women, we try to stick by them for the long haul, but it's
Hmm.
actually hurting us down the line. And as we're
Yes.
going through it, we're hurting ourselves and don't even see how much trauma we're causing
Right.
ourselves along the way. But we always try to put others before ourselves. And so,
You know,
unfortunately, that
you know what's interesting, and I'm sorry to have interrupted. Like literally, I prayed, I fasted, I anointed shoes and pillows, thinking,
that was going to help. Yeah.
and after I got out of the situation, I learned that, and God showed me this. You cannot pray against someone else's will. You cannot change anyone.
That's right.
They have to change themselves. And so many of us, we want to, I'm saying black women, but just the general population, we
Hmm.
want to change people.
Right.
And we can't. We could change ourselves. And I'm glad that you acknowledged the red flags
Hmm.
eventually and got out.
Right.
Now, a lot of people stay for the children.
Hmm.
One, how old were your children when you left? And did you feel that way as well?
Well, this was different situation because he's not my kid's father. So my kid's
Okay.
father is deceased, and so with this go round, it was easy for me to break free because there's no tie between us when it comes to children. So
Okay.
it was much
Okay.
easier. Yeah.
How did your children feel after you left? I don't know how old they were,
Mhm.
but have they ever communicated with you about the
Oh
situation?
yeah, they were happy that I finally broke free from that situation because it wasn't doing the family any good. Yeah.
Why do you think educated women stay?
That's a good question. That's a very good question because
Thank
we
you.
always I guess because we always feel like someone's learning, and we always have to be there to teach them along the way. We always see the good side of a person, and we stay stuck on that good part of that person, and we
Okay.
don't focus on the bad side. We just focus on the good side, and so I think that's how we get stuck. And we always,
Okay.
we're educators, we're caring individuals, we're loving, and we want to see people succeed, and we want to do everything we can
Yes.
to in order for them to be successful, because what educators do. We don't give up. We
Yes.
know that it may be a learning curve, but we're going to continue to strive for excellence in that person. And so, I think
Yes.
that happened with me. I think that's what happened with me. Yeah, in other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so like, let's go through a Sunday morning, right? You're
Mhm.
getting ready to go to church. Let's say you just had an argument, the verbal abuse, and maybe physical, right? So it could have
Mhm.
been the same day or day before. What does that Sunday morning preparing for church feel like to you, knowing that this has occurred, but now I have to go in front of the people
Mhm.
and show something different.
Well, it becomes like a norm when you're dealing with your kids in the morning, trying to get them to go 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 to school or go to church. It's like you have that angry mother stance in the
Well,
morning.
no, so what I'm saying is like with you and him, not the
Mhm.
babies, but
I
like
know.
with him. If yeah, like if there was an argument or something and you have to go and
That's what I'm
pretend.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm so used to
Okay.
dealing with the kids, so when it comes to him, it's the same situation, and it's easy to mask it
Oh,
because I've been masking it for so long. It became a norm. So by me masking it
okay.
for so long, it was easy for me to go out in the public and mask it, as well as growing up in a household with a domestic abuse household. Growing up,
Okay.
I was able to see my mom mask it, so I just thought it was a
Okay.
normal thing to do. So that's why I was saying, dealing with the kids, I'm
Okay.
masking it anyway, and then with the husband, it just add more to it, of course. But I'm so used to masking it, so it was a norm. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, growing up in a household where your mom experienced domestic abuse or domestic violence, and you seeing that, do you feel that your environment allowed you to attract the same type of energy, the same type of man who would also do the same thing? Because we tend to mimic.
Right, right, because we thinking that's what love is, and that's how it's supposed to look like. You always look up you always compare your father to the person that you want to be with. And I started, I didn't catch this early on. I caught this many years later down the
Right.
line, like late 30s, early 40s. So this ain't something that I
Okay.
just picked up on. I didn't understand it at first,
Okay.
but now looking back, like wow, they all have the same. They all have the same traits. They all suffer from substance abuse in some type of
Yes.
way. So, and then that's another thing too. When I say substance abuse, a lot of times I
I
think
was going to ask.
well, the reason why I'm saying another reason why I stay because I would think I would lean on the word by that may be that's the enemy. The substance abuse, that's the enemy. That's
Okay.
not them. Look further.
Okay.
Look deeper into that person on who they really are and stick to that person,
Yes.
not the abuse side, because we know that's the work of the enemy. And so I would get stuck. I would get stuck like, oh,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the enemy.
Okay.
That's not him. That's not him. That's the enemy. But it gets to the point like, you know what? I'm gonna have to step back. Like
Right.
you and the enemy can have y'all fun on your own. I don't want no parts of y'all celebration or whatever. But yeah.
Right. You know what's interesting, Denise? Like a lot of times I've heard when women especially would say, "Oh, that's the devil," or "That's the enemy," or whatever. And it's like I feel like we give the enemy, the devil, too much credit. You
Yeah,
know what
we
I'm
do.
saying?
We do.
Not realizing that this person made a choice. Like
Mm-hmm.
when a man cheats or a woman cheats, I always say this, and excuse my language. I say a woman just didn't fall down on a dick, and the man just didn't just slip in the pussy. Like it was a choice. It was a conscious decision, and I think we give too much credit like for that DEVIL, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nigga, that was you.
Yeah, that's true.
You
And
wanted
they
to
take
do that.
accountability. They have to take accountability for their actions. You're right. You're so right about
So in
being disciplined.
in your marriage, your situation, because you all were in ministry, did you go to your pastor, your quote unquote, your covering, your bishop, and If so, what did they say? What did they do?
Yes, we did several times, and they definitely helped us out along the way. But it got to the point like enough is enough. Like
Okay.
we went to you for guidance, but I'm at the point now like he needs guidance by himself, not with me and him and
Okay.
the pastor. You need to seek help just one on one with the pastor, because at that point I was
Okay.
already checked out. Ain't nothing you can say or do to no word could get me to stay in that situation, especially when it's a mental issue too. On top of the substance
Okay.
abuse,
Okay.
it's a lot going on
Yes.
right there, and I don't have the tools. Although I thought I had tools in my
Yes.
tool belt to handle those
Okay.
situations,
Okay.
and that's what the enemy would do. He would, well, there we go, giving the enemy more, more attention.
It's okay. It's
But you know what I
okay.
mean? Like you would think that he would have you thinking like you meant to be with that person because you have the ability to deal with that person. You have the right tools to deal with that person, and you end up getting
Hmm.
stuck again. So those are so many in so many ways. Those are different patterns that had me stuck. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you went to counseling, I'm gonna say Christian counseling with your pastor and the first lady, did they encourage you to stay? Like, what did they tell you, especially as the wife? Because you were the one that was enduring the pain and the hardship and the infidelity, the drugs, the mental health. What did they tell you?
Well, they didn't know all the details. They only knew
Okay.
certain
How
aspects.
you gonna go to counseling and not give all the details?
Well, when you being in, being in those environments, and people look at you a certain way, you don't want to tell everything in those moments. In those moments,
Girl,
sometimes.
I'm telling everything.
The old me would tell everything with no filters, but now I'm like more reserved.
Right, right,
I'm a
right.
little more reserved now, so I kind of watch the things I say because people can switch it and flip it in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. How long were you married?
3 years, three too many.
3 years. Well, I mean, that's good. I was married 16 years to a cheater, a serial cheater.
Yeah, my first marriage.
Had a baby and everything.
Ooh, yeah, my first marriage was 8 years, and then the second was three. So
Okay.
I knew when it was time to exit stage left.
Okay.
Mm,
So, did you marry the same person, different face?
pretty much, yeah. Same person, different face. I like that. That's right. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Same
I
traits.
do life coaching. So,
Yeah, same traits, same behavior. Yeah. But women. Oh, we're gonna change him. Although he's almost
right,
60, he's
right. We
almost
cannot
60.
change
We're gonna change
nobody.
him. He's almost 60. He's almost 50. But we're gonna change him. We have the superpower to
Isn't that
do
craziness?
that. When you think back and you think back, you're like, whoa, okay. I was way.
Yeah, like we can't change anybody.
We can't
you
change
know,
ourselves. Like,
I was going to say
we
that.
sure
I was
do try
going
to
to
change
say that.
ourselves. We're gonna change somebody else.
right?
Yeah.
So, like in all of this, right? You're married, you're going through, you're talking to God. What are you saying to God?
Help me through this situation, give me discernment, give me insight, give me understanding, give me clarity, give me a sign. You
Okay.
name it, I was asking all the questions like, God, please help me along the way. What do I need to do to get out of this
Okay.
situation? Show me, show me. He would show me. He would definitely show me. And a lot of times he would show me and I would ignore it. I would just,
Okay.
I would cover it up,
Okay.
or almost like it never happened. In my mind, it'd be like, oh, I'll brush it off. I'll brush it off, you know.
So God kept sending you the raft,
Hmm.
saying, "Here, girl," and you
Yeah.
like,
Hmm. Right, right, right.
"That ain't for
That ain't for
me.
me. That ain't for
That's
me.
for
That's
that."
for somebody else.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Exactly. And then a lot of and then part. Well, I ain't gonna say part of it. Most of it was it was because I wasn't fully spiritual grounded like I should have been. I wasn't
Okay.
awakened. I hadn't been awoke, I should say. I didn't know
Okay.
my calling. I didn't know who I was
Okay.
in Christ. I didn't know who I was. Who I didn't know my purpose, and that
Okay.
caused me to sink and to be stuck and not
Okay.
seeing a way out, not seeing the end of that tunnel, not knowing how to get there, just not having the
Okay.
tools that I needed at that time. And so once I got out of that
Okay.
situation, I was able to find clarity, to find myself. So I don't I don't have. I mean, all of it is not a regret, but of course, most of it is a regret. But I try to look at the positive side of it. Like if it wasn't for that situation,
Hmm.
I would have known who I was in Christ fully. You know.
I love it.
So
I
it was
love it.
good. It was some good pieces that came out of it.
You know how I look at it? I look at it as just being a part of my journey
Right.
and getting the lesson,
Mm-hmm.
so basically what you said. So, what was the lesson and what is your purpose?
Right. There we go. So that's what you're asking.
Now, that's what I'm asking you. What was the lesson?
So the lesson was, it was so many different lessons out of it. Don't believe
Okay.
everything that you see. Um,
Okay.
the devil covers up in many different ways. Yeah, he's very
Okay.
conniving. Um, and just learning more about the gift of discernment. I struggle with that. And I still
Okay.
have issues every now and then, but I think God is really unlocking my discernment more and more each day because that's one of my strong gifts. But I haven't like
Okay.
really tapped into it like I should have. So I think
Okay.
just seeing the snakes within people, you know,
Okay. Okay.
unveiling who they are at the beginning, so I won't waste my time. So that's one of the
Was
biggest that was one of the biggest lessons
okay.
there. And then
Okay.
what was the other question? I'm sorry.
What is your purpose?
My purpose now is to live for Deniece.
Okay. That's a great thing.
Live for me.
I love that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Stop putting men first. Put Deniece first. That's my. That's
A lot of women tend to put the men first.
oh yeah, absolutely.
So I teach women that the man should love you more than you love him.
Absolutely.
I
I agree.
I know it sounds weird. I know it probably sounds wrong to some women or to some men, but the reason I say that is because women's innate nature
Mm-hmm.
is to love, right? And a woman is the reflection of the man or the men that she's been with.
Mm-hmm.
So if she has a good man who's nurturing her and who's kind, automatically she's going to fall into that role. But when he's bitter and angry, she's going to fall into that resenting him.
Absolutely. Yes.
So I don't know where you are in your dating space right now,
Mm-hmm.
but always remember that. I don't know if you're married or whatever, remarried,
Mm-mm.
but that's very, very, very important.
Yeah.
But what I love that you say is that it's about you
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Right. Right.
That's a great place.
It is a great place to be at right now. To be financially stable, just being independent, fully independent, not leaning on someone else. You know,
Okay,
so
okay.
leaning on someone else to
Did
help them. From I always been the person that want people to want me to help them, as in relationship wise. But now I'm at the point of
okay.
no, no, no. That's not the way to
So
go.
you were like a Captain Save a Hoe.
But there you go. You're really wrong. Okay, this is a really wrong show. I would not say none of this, but I'm rolling with the punches. I'm rolling with.
Well, well, okay, Denise. So I'm from Philly, right? And this is
It's a
all I
different vibe.
know,
I know. I'm
right?
from the East Coast and down South. It's
But
two different vibes, so I get it. I get it.
you know, but when I come on your show, I won't use the language that I normally use.
Yes. Please don't.
I promise you I won't. I promise. You know,
I'll be like,
before
please, please,
my
please,
girlfriend
all through the show.
before my girlfriend died, or I say transitioned, but I didn't know if you would know what that meant.
No.
But before she transitioned, and she would ask me to come speak at her church, and she would say, Cheron, could you please just not cuss? And I would say, of course.
Like you know your place, you know, you know when to say certain things and when not to.
I do, I
You got
do.
home training. You got some home training.
You know, yes, I do, I do. Um, in your marriage and after your marriage, did you ever feel mad or angry at God? Like, God, why did you allow me to get into this?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got to the point that I felt that way. Like, God, I'm your daughter. Why would you let me go through all of this pain and this hurt? I'm a good woman. I'm a good woman. I mean, um, I'm a good person overall, a good person, a good wife, and
Hmm.
why would you let this happen? I would say that all the time. But then later on, God would start revealing certain things to me on the reason why I went through certain things, and a lot of it, a lot of it stems from generation curses, for sure.
Okay.
Generation after generation, you experiencing these same patterns and just trying to break it,
Yes.
generation curses. And once I was able to realize that, I got my power back. I got my dominion power through speaking
Yes.
into my life by saying things over my family. So once I learned all of those things, I was able to understand it better on the reasons why I went through certain things, because he's preparing me for something greater. He's preparing me to help other.
Okay.
He preparing me to help my daughter.
Yes.
He's positioning me in those rooms to help other young ladies like myself that been down that road, so they won't make the same mistake. Because everything that we go through in life is not for us; it's for other people.
Right,
You
right,
realize that
right.
that's your purpose. That's your main purpose. Is to help others. So yeah. So I'm in a better place now from what I was before. But also,
I
not
love that.
only not only I was bitter with my previous marriage. I was bitter with my kid's father. I was mad at God. Like, God, how did you let this happen and let me raise these kids by myself? Like, God,
Okay.
how are you gonna do this to me? Like, I'm out here raising these kids by myself. But I was a better person to do that. I was the person that God chose me to do that. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
I got upset with God. I'm like, really, God? I got all this to deal with. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
To be a single mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this question is going to help a lot of women.
Hmm.
How did you become okay with God again? Like was it your healing? Was it God whispering to you late in the midnight hour? What was it that it was like, all right, God, me and you, we good again?
It just got to the point when you had nowhere where else to go. You got to your
Okay.
very end, like you just got to the point like I'm helpless.
Okay.
I don't know what else to do, and that's when you have that deep conversation with God, that one on one, when you get to your lowest of your lowest, when you just get tired and so
Yes.
fed up, when you just don't have no energy, no more energy left in you, and that's when I got back on one accord with God, when I got to my lowest.
Okay.
And I think
How'd
that's a
you?
lot of times with people in general. When they get to their lowest, that's when God speak to them the loudest.
Yes,
And then it
yes,
gets to the
I
point
agree
like,
with
then it gets
that.
to a point like I'm like, God, I don't want to get to my lowest to hear from you. Like, please speak to me now. Like, I don't want to get to that situation I was before. I love my prayer
Yes,
closet, but I
yes,
don't want to get to that moment in my prayer closet. With snot and
yes,
everything
yes.
coming out my nose.
Look. So in your healing space, was it miraculous? Did God just do it? Did you go to therapy? Did you have a life coach? Like,
Mm-mm.
how
I,
was your
I,
healing?
my healing process, believe it or not, like after I left my last husband, I ended up going into another relationship with a previous ex,
Okay.
once that happened, that's when God really broke the chain after I let that person go, because that was the person that created all of this madness in my life when it comes to broken relationships, and having
Okay.
that repeated behavior over and over again between my father and him. They were like the top of
Okay.
they were at the top of my relationship, the damages of my relationship. So,
Okay.
so after, once that broke free, well, before that, I was part of a fivefold ministry. And so with
Okay.
being part of that ministry, that's when I really got the insight on who I was in Christ and what powers I have within myself to fight against the enemy, and just unlock so many different levels of different levels that I was experiencing down the line with different
Okay.
people that I was dealing with. So I think that is what switched it. And then just having people
Okay.
in my corner that was Christ followers, and then having a counselor, and just
Okay.
surrounding myself with like-minded individuals who love God, who wants to see you
Okay.
prosper, and just feeding into you when you feel empty. You have somebody to fill you up with positivity,
Yes.
fill you up with those words that you need to hear during those times. Just uplifting your
Okay.
spirit along the way.
We definitely need that.
Mhm.
Did you receive like prophetic words
Oh
into your?
yes, yes, over and over and over again, and I'm like, okay,
Do tell, do tell.
yeah. Just know that I have a higher calling in my life when it comes to
Okay.
ministry, and I know I'm an interceder, and He wants to take me to higher places when it comes to being an interceder. So I know that's
Okay.
definitely, being a prayer warrior is definitely in my blood.
Okay.
But
Oh,
like I said,
I
I
love
always
it.
kind of, you know, I always go the other way when I'm supposed to be going this way. I go this way.
Why?
And that's,
Why?
yeah, I think for one, it's like it's new to me, and then
Okay.
it's new to me, and then it's like once you step into it, it's like you think about how people see you, and then also it's like you become naked in the spiritual realm.
Okay.
So when people
Okay.
finally accept their calling and they go into the spiritual world, you feel a little nakedness, and it's like you're trying to feel comfortable in that season that you're going through. Um,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Do that make sense a little bit?
Um,
It's like you become very vulnerable during that time, and it's like
yeah.
you're not used to that, and so you
Okay.
releasing all of that, and you become more of Christ, but you still thinking of the world. So
Okay.
your worldly thoughts have you thinking that you're naked.
Okay. But you were born naked, you going to die naked,
But it's
so
like
you might as well be naked in front of God.
you know, but like it's all about how people perceive you. Just being in the world, you always think about
Okay.
how people see you, and then it's like
You
you
know,
you revealing other layers of yourself, and it's like
okay.
you're not ready for that. So
Oh, I got you.
yeah,
I got you.
it's like when you
Well,
pouring
yeah,
out
that
all your
tends.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, no, you finish.
No, I was just gonna just go back to what I was just saying. Like when you pour everything out, um, in the spiritual realm, and then it's like at the very, it's almost like a pastor. When the pastor finished preaching, they like, it's like they done gave it
They
all,
tired.
exhausted. But then at the same time, for a person that never did it before, it's like, oh, everybody was looking at me like I feel like I feel kind of like not embarrassed, but it's like, oh.
Okay, I got you.
Because it's like when you like
I got you.
praying out loud or praying for somebody, and then the word just hits you, and then you just start speaking in tongue. I haven't spoken tongue, but I'm just giving you an example.
Okay.
Speaking in tongue, and then at the very
Okay.
end of everything, you're like, oh, what just happened? Like, oh, I need to cover myself up. Like, I revealed who I was in Christ to the world. So it's like, oh, how would the world receive?
Girl, you need to embrace that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like at the beginning, it was like that, and but now it's like I'm starting to be okay with it. But at the beginning, it was like,
Okay, you flowing in it.
yeah, I'm flowing in it. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody
No,
looking at this
it really does. It really
yeah.
does. Cause I used to pastor with my ex-husband.
Okay.
So I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the more natural it
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it becomes like a part of you.
Right, right. It's just the fact that I was battling the world against spirituality, just trying to balance the two.
Okay.
You know, you can't do that, but I'm trying to balance the two. So that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
see what you're saying. So if I was in church, right?
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I would have said you had one foot in the world and one foot in the
Right.
church.
That's how people, yeah, that's how,
I got what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, one foot in, one foot out. Yeah.
You know,
And that's being
for
transparent.
me now, no, and that's fine. For me now, I think so differently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, regarding, I just feel like God gives us our personalities, like who we are,
Okay.
right? So for me, when part of my healing, and I tell this story all the time, was on the dance floor with a margarita in my hand. And baby, I partied Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
And I party. And in my dancing, I don't know if you know this, but scientifically, that dancing and especially like thrusting your pelvis and stuff, that's healing, that's releasing trauma.
Mm.
Because as women, we store trauma in the womb.
That we do. We do. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And we don't know how to release that. So I was releasing it and dancing. So like in Africa and stuff, you might see a lot of women like twerking or moving their lower extremities,
Mm-hmm.
but that's part of the healing of the culture. And I think that the world and church has deemed a lot of things demonic, not of God or whatever. Um, but it's just like shouting in church, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Africa, it was the ring dance, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the ring dance and you look at people shout, a lot of it looks the exact same thing, but it's in our ancestry, it's in our culture.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that we do, people don't know why we do them, but they were passed down from generation to generation to
Mm-hmm.
generation. And that's why I love God so much. And that's why I have learned to walk in my freedom and not care what other people think, what they say, because even how I am now, God really uses me.
Mm-hmm.
So no one can say, oh, because you cuss, you're going to hell. And I'm like, well, nigga, you going to hell too for judging me.
Yeah.
So where we at?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just, for me, I just don't allow people to put the God that I serve in a box because then that's limiting me.
Mm-hmm.
However, anyway, let's get back on topic, girl.
This is good. This is good.
This is
Good.
good.
A
And I
conversation that
wanted
needs
to
to be.
tell you, say that
No,
again.
I say a conversation that needs to be told. This conversation needs to be told.
Yeah. And I wanted to say this, and I was going to say this in private. So, initially, with our conversations and stuff, and your response, I'm not going to say it how I said it to Dorcas and myself, but I, I'm going to say it. I fucks with you because, and, and I'm going to say because not too many people will come back and say, hey, well, let's come together and do it this way,
Mhm.
where it works for both of us. And I work with a lot of people, all different cultures. And when you responded the way you did, I said, yeah, I
Okay.
like her. I
Yeah.
like her.
Oh, good.
So thank you for that because that was integrity. speaking. I
Yeah.
noticed your integrity. I noticed that you value me just as much as I value you. So thank you for
Yeah,
that.
no problem. I appreciate that. I try to. I try to try to be there with everybody. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Anytime.
So back to your husband, your marriage, God, is there anything that you would tell a teenage girl, a young woman in her 20s, excuse me, a woman in her 30s, someone in their 40s or 50s regarding the love of God and the red flags?
I think they need to know who they are in Christ. Once you know who you are in Christ, nothing else
Okay.
can come your way to stop you from living your life to the fullest for God. Of course, you're going to,
Okay.
of course, you're going to be triggered here and there. Of course, you're going to, get off track because the world that we live in is it's going to happen. But I think once you have that foundation, you can always go back to your foundation. You can
Okay.
just like I always knew who God was. I always lean back to God. That's my foundation as a
Okay.
kid. So having that foundation will take you a
Yes.
long way. So I think just them having the love of God, love of Christ, knowing who they
Okay.
are, and just have self esteem. And I think a lot of young girls they lack self
Okay.
esteem. And I think if they have that confidence and that self esteem, it can take them places that other people can't get to if they have that confidence and they have that self esteem and they walk with pride and they walk with integrity. I think all of that is a
Yes.
strong piece to have for young ladies, and knowing that they are worthy, knowing
How
that they
does
are worthy, they are valuable,
Yes.
they are,
Yes.
yeah, they
Yes.
are princess, they are a queen, they are all of those things.
Yes.
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 Mhm.
So how does a young lady who has been downtrodden, right? Teenage girl, early 20s, how does she build that self-esteem up if she never knew to have self-love?
She needs to seek others, a new circle, because the circle that she's in that's not helping
Okay.
her. So and a lot of times it comes with your peers. So she needs to like reevaluate
Okay.
her circle and like get away from those individuals that's pulling her down, that's not feeding into her, and just find other
Okay.
outlets because there's so many resources that's out there. But a lot of times girls don't know where to look they don't know who to turn to, who to go to in time of need. So I think just them researching and getting those resources that they need
Okay.
to help them, and just find somebody that they can trust.
Okay.
Find somebody that they can
Yes.
trust, and that's hard. It's hard to trust people these days. Some some girls when they trust a certain
Absolutely.
female, they end up they
Absolutely.
trafficking them. They start thinking that's the person that's going to help them. So
Yes.
they trafficking them. So yeah, just
Yes.
just being cautious at all times with whoever you're talking to. Always be cautious. Yeah, and pray. Pray
I agree
before.
with that.
You definitely pray before you make
Yeah,
those individuals.
child, that's number one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's number
The
one.
first thing, yeah, you need to pray. Yeah,
I talk to
yeah.
God. But you know what, Deniece? A lot of young people don't have a sense of God or spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how we reached out to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was our first source.
Yeah.
How does someone get in tune with God? Wait a minute, don't answer that.
Mm-hmm.
How does someone get in tune with God when they see people in church not being kind, not being loving, not being who they really are? So, for someone, say if I was a teenager and I was like, I would go to church, but how do you get there? How do you get to God?
What I would tell them is to whatever situation they're in. I know this day and age we use technology, so I will Google
Yes.
whatever I'm dealing with and Google something with Google whatever I'm dealing with, and match it up with a Bible verse. Then read that Bible verse,
Okay.
dig in deep on that Bible verse, and if some things that you don't understand in that Bible verse, research even harder to find understanding to get you through that situation, to get understanding. And of course, you apply that with
Yes.
prayer. Apply your understanding with prayer, and then God will reveal the rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, and I don't know if you ever tried this. So I created a chat bot for healing, like
Okay.
for as a life coach.
Okay.
And I sent her out. And to be honest, this new technology, it's so powerful where it can literally usher you into your healing space. I know it sounds weird.
No, it's true.
I
It
know
is
it
so
sounds
true.
weird,
It's true.
but I've tested it. I've had other people to test it, and they were like, wow.
Yeah, it is
You
powerful.
know, so
Yeah.
as we're even talking about this, like, I'm like, technology too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So many different
use
apps
it
you
while
can
it's
use.
good.
Yeah, so many different apps that you can use to get
Yeah,
information.
there's a Bible app. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you know that there's some type of Bible. It's called Jesus. It's a Jesus app.
Oh, okay. Tell me more. Tell me more.
You know. No, I actually heard about it and it was interesting. I'm going to do some research on it and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll text it to you so
Yeah.
that you can have it. But
Okay.
someone created the Jesus app for people to heal and to talk about things that are bothering them. And yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
so I'll definitely send that to you. So I have it's called Hey Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
And basically Sunny is for mental health and suicide
Oh,
prevention
good. Good.
because that's my thing, you know. So,
That's
and
awesome.
it doesn't take the place of therapy,
Mm-hmm.
a counselor. It doesn't take the place of any of that. So I had to put that out there. But just as a tool and as a resource to help people.
Right.
So for someone who's looking to get married, what would you tell them prior to marriage?
Go to counseling first. Start early. Start
Okay.
early. Early. Definitely go to counseling first. Well, of course, pray first before you even jump into the relationship. Before you
Yes.
even, pursue that
Yes.
person, because you never know where that relationship may lead to. So at least start early, praying over that relationship, making sure you're going
Yes.
in the right direction. Get counseling, seek help, um, and just put all
Okay.
the issues out on the table. Like, this is what I want more people to
Yes.
do. Whatever issue you had in your previous relationship, talk about those relationships in the new relationship, so those patterns won't repeat itself, and then also you can get healing from that as
Okay.
well. Take accountability
Okay.
for your past relationships. Everybody plays a part in a failed relationship. Take accountability
Yes.
on what you
Yes.
did wrong and bring it to the table. That way, you both can work on the issues that you guys had in previous relationships. So I think the main thing is communication too. You have to have that. It have to, like it have, they have to talk like Cheron. They have to come with it. They have to come with it. There we go.
You know, I used to talk a lot and then I became silent. Not
Mhm.
silent, but I toned everything down and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I felt that I lost myself. So once I came out of the cage and out of the cocoon, I just said I can't go back.
There we go.
I have to be who God created me to be. And if God wants me to change, I think God is big enough to say, hey, I think you need to wheel it in, or I think you
Mhm.
need to stop now, or we need to go in a different direction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm just free to be me. And I love people who are just as authentic because then I know where they're coming from,
Right. You can see
as
their heart.
opposed to me trying to guess
Mm-hmm.
where you're coming from.
Absolutely.
And that's what I appreciate about authenticity.
Right. Same here. Same here. That's how you really know who the person are.
Yes, yes, yes. So how can people reach you?
Well, before that, I wanted to add in another lesson that I
Yes,
learned was learning your assignment.
please.
Learning your assignment.
Okay.
You can be in a relationship, but you're on the wrong assignment, and you just wasting your time because that's not your assignment to be with that person. You're not ordained to be with that person.
Okay.
Learning your assignment, because for many years I was on the wrong assignment, and that's how I end up having these
Okay.
repeated behaviors and relationships over and over again. Couldn't break that cycle because I was on the wrong assignment. So that's what I want to leave you guys with. Make sure you're on the right assignment.
So now I got to ask you a question, Deniece. How does someone know if they're on the right assignment? Well, what is okay? I know what an assignment is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what an assignment is. Could you break it down for someone who's listening regarding an assignment?
Yeah, because your assignment can be you can be in a position to save that person, or you may be in a
Okay.
position to get that person to the next level on where they need to get to when it
Okay.
comes to Christ. So it's all about Christ. Your assignment is
Okay.
all about Christ, no matter what.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you are placed
Okay.
in certain situations where you are part of that assignment for that particular time, and it's just a season. And sometimes
Okay.
we make those assignments long term, and it's not a long term assignment. So it's either you're going to be on the right assignment and it's
Okay.
short term, or you could be on an assignment it's a long term. But you have to know all the details about that assignment, and don't get stuck in the wrong assignment for
Yes.
too long. Yeah.
So going forward, I don't know if you're dating now, are you?
I am.
Oh, I was going to ask you a question, but yay! Are you dating another preacher?
No. I ain't mean to say it like that. That came out wrong. That came out wrong. That came out.
So Denise, tell me, how can people reach out to you, find you, all that good stuff?
You guys can find me on Instagram and Facebook under the Not So Christian and Me Show, and you can also find me on Facebook under Deniece Edwards. It has Scott on there, but I'm not Scott, guys. So stop creating these awards with my name on there, and it has Scott. I'm not Scott. I just sent the letter to Facebook so they can move Scott off of my Facebook. Okay, but no, it's Deniece Edwards.
So does it?
Deniece? Uh-huh.
Okay. So does it say right now Deniece Edwards Scott?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been like
Okay.
that for a while
Okay.
now, so
Okay.
I'm disputing it with Facebook. So if you guys want to
Okay.
honor me, it's Deniece Edwards. That's it. Honor me as Deniece. That's my government name, y'all. That's my born name, Deniece Edwards. Okay. Don't add no Scott to no tax. Don't add no Scott to no certificates, because I will be very disappointed. Okay. I got a lot of awards
Right, right.
Scott
So,
on it that I have to look at every day.
oh God, wait a minute. So Denise, I have a final question, then we gonna log off, right? So, are you waiting? Are you saving yourself for marriage?
I'm not getting married no time soon. No, no, no,
No.
no,
Okay.
no.
Look, look,
No,
look.
no.
That was a good PR. That was a good PR answer, and I'm gonna leave it at
There we
that.
go. There we go. No.
So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for gracing me with your presence. Thank you to the listening audience. And I know that this podcast, I don't even want to say this interview, this
Yeah.
conversation
This was a
is going to
conversation.
really, yes, yes, I think it's going to help a lot of people.
I hope so.
So I want to
Hopefully.
say I appreciate you and thank you so much. So
Thank you.
bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Flapping my wings. So Deniece, don't hang up yet, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.